And you are live.
All right, I call this meeting to order on Thursday, June 30th at 2:30 p.m. 2:31 p.m. now, 2:31 p.m. All right, so is member Eileen Leahy present?
I'm here.
Great. Is member Debbie Yasik present?
Here.
All right, and I am also present, Keanu Smith-Brown, chair. We're now going to have comments, if there are any. Are there any comments, Madam Clerk? All right, thank you. Is there a motion then, as we move forward to the approval of minutes? Is there a motion to approve of our minutes from last meeting on Thursday, June 16th?
I so move the approval of the minutes of last month, June 16th.
Okay, is there a
second.
second? Awesome. Okay, all in favor, please. Aye.
Aye.
All right, those are approved. Now moving forward to discussion, the review of our resolution that was drafted. Thank you so very much again for taking the time to put this together from our last meeting and before. We're going to take the time, I say, to go through many of these edits that were made just to make sure that everyone is in agreement with them before we move forward to the election of our ex officio non-voting member. And then I also want to make sure that we discuss, if not at this meeting, at our next meeting, what that application process will look like. So let's go in, start. I see that there were changes made on lines 41 to 45 to update that the City Council believes that review and evaluation of the city election laws, as well as investigating alternatives and best practices as relate to election laws, deserve additional attention and consideration. Are we all okay with that change in language?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Now, I do see that there's a blank still on lines 31 through 39 where it says that it was recently voted at its June blank 2022 meeting. I take it that'll just be inputted. Fantastic. Okay. Thank you. The next updates, which were on the second page, if you printed it out, this is on line 5. We crossed out the Annapolis Democratic Central Committee shall name one member. In our conversation, we talked about the unbiased, nonpartisan. Want to make sure that we are keeping that throughout the process of our task force. So line 6 was also crossed out. The Annapolis Republican Central Committee shall name one member. And instead, we kept line 7, where it would be the Board of Supervisors of Elections shall solicit volunteers for 5 members from geographically and politically diverse backgrounds that possesses an expertise, experience, or other valid qualifications related to election administration. Is that language all right with everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and at the end, I'm just going to move for a vote that we accept all of these, but we're going to go through them individually just to make sure. And then on line 10, we have an update that the Board of Supervisors of Elections shall use a transparent application process to solicit and select the volunteer members. All right, I think that was exactly what we talked about. As well as line 12, one existing member of the Board of Supervisors of Elections shall be an ex officio non-voting member of the task force. We discussed that. We need one person, cannot be me. And so we will choose that person on today. I mean, I thought about it too. I'm not certain if we have to choose an alternative, Madam Clerk, but if we do, maybe I can just include that in the motion when we choose our one non-voting member, just in case of emergencies. We never know if maybe the other person wants to stop into that meeting. And since it can't be more than 2, maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. But I thought about that over the past days. Also on line 24, under the "and be it further resolved by the Annapolis City Council that the task force shall elect from among their membership a chair," but also line 25, which was changed to number 4, the task force shall elect from among their membership a secretary to take minutes for all task force meetings. That's great. I say we would all be in favor of that. Line 5 on section 27 line, but number 5, the city clerk office. Okay, I take it that we gave say to the clerk's office. Okay, we found that out. Shall provide support staff to assist the task. Yes, Madam Clerk.
We don't really have anybody to do that.
Okay.
Well, we really do, because see, if we handle your board, we can't handle your task force. It's opposition. It's two separate things. Like I'm your chair to your committee, but I don't have anybody to be the chair for the task force. I mean, to be the secretary or be the staff person for the task force. It's only 3 of us. We don't have a
Okay.
person.
Hey, Regina.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Could I weigh in? So the
Oh,
thought
yes.
was if they have their own chair to run the meetings and if they have their own secretary to make minutes, all they really need someone to do is post things like agenda.
Gotcha.
So I do realize what you were saying, but I was thinking we could keep the clerk's support staff role to sort of a minimal thing because they will have a chair and they will have a secretary who has expressly take their minutes.
Okay.
So it would really just be posting things like agenda and minutes online.
Got it. I can
Yes,
do that.
Okay, good. Because the clarification there too, in number 5, it says the city clerk office shall not attend task force meetings, so you do not have to worry about that, or provide meeting minutes. So I take it then just specification, it'll be the agenda posting and things like that. Great.
Right,
And
can I
number
just-
6.
Can
Oh,
I just
yes.
put in a grammatical, it should be the city clerk's office or the office of the city clerk?
Okay.
Yes.
Grammatical.
Okay.
You have a preference, Regina?
Clerk's office.
Okay, so just add an S, apostrophe S.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then
That's my bad. Sorry.
Mhm.
are there any other are there any other grammatical or error changes we wanted to make, by the way? Because
I have a question.
Yeah.
So we talk about changes to the city code. Actually, does the city code include the charter or is the charter considered something separate?
Just charter and code is together.
Yeah, generally I think of them as together.
They're together.
I just wanted to make sure because, the commission had made recommendations for the charter and I imagine we would be, there's the potential to be changing the charter too.
Mhm.
I view the charter as a subdivision of the code.
Okay, so that's fine. I just wanted to clarify since we don't have it listed. So, okay.
And also on line 31, number 6, the task force shall submit a final report of its recommendations to the city council and the board of supervisors of elections no later than 6 months from the date of its first meeting, at which time the task force shall, at which time the task force shall end unless the city council takes further action to extend the term of the task force.
That's good.
Okay. And then number 7, which is just number 7, it's the same, but it says the task force shall have no authority to render decisions or opinions on behalf of the city council and shall only act in an advisory capacity, as we are aware. So the point here, will the task force be providing to the Board of Supervisors of Elections its report before the Annapolis City Council?
You should.
Okay, so this isn't really specifying the order in which it will take place. It's just making sure that they will provide it to the city council and to the Board of Supervisors of Elections.
Right.
Or will the board-
You could work out the order. I just want to make sure it went to both places, but at the first meeting, you could discuss a timeline so that the board gets it first before city council.
Mhm.
Okay, let's make sure we do that. Okay. And of course, just to make, because if we can look it over and then the board, I would say if it's within our purview to just all agree that what the task force provided on our behalf, which we are going to be soliciting those volunteers, we're all in sync and we all agree that it is exactly what we're looking for. The information, the data that was collected, everything. I do want to make sure that everyone has an eye on that before the city council. So I would say these are all of the updates from our conversations. Are there any final changes before there's a motion to approve of all of these changes and update the resolution accordingly to move forward to next steps?
Yeah, I just have a question.
Okay, and then please, Madam Clerk, after Member Yasek.
Do we have a sponsor?
Not yet. Not yet. Your resolution isn't complete. You have to adopt this first.
Okay,
We can share it with them.
okay.
And then once I know that I'll be moving forward and ensure we get that sponsor. I know we talked about the mayor, Gavin Buckley being sponsor. So we'll talk. I take it then, Madam Clerk, we can figure out how to go about that.
Just
but-
FYI, the mayor's out of town until July 15th.
Okay, right. Yeah, I was hearing about that. So maybe we have to, will we have to get another sponsor, or should we just hold out until then? Because
To be honest, I don't see this going on an agenda because of the date. And when the mayor returns, if you want the administration to be the sponsor, it probably won't go on a city council agenda until the last week of July as a first reader. Till the last meeting, and that's on July 25th.
okay, so that means that it would have to be only the first reader, but then we would have to wait until they reconvene then
September, yeah.
to do the, all right. So what would if we wanted to get this
Earlier.
through, earlier, what would there is no way, is what you're saying?
No, because we're ready for our next city council meeting on July the 11th, like right now.
Exactly. All right. So what this looks like then is that we will not have this set up until September, around September. Is everyone in agreement with that?
It might be better because of summer. I don't know.
Right.
Well, it'd be nice to be able to get it so that the resolution's set so we could start advertising and getting applicants.
Oh, it is, yeah.
So if we had, what would we need to do to get it on the July 11th agenda, Regina?
Well, Monday's a holiday. We don't have our agenda review. You would have like I said, the mayor's out of town. I don't know who you would get to sponsor it, but that's kind of up to you. But we'll be having agenda review on Tuesday, and the agenda goes out on Thursday. So that only gives you 2 days.
Okay. So would it be okay or appropriate for someone to contact Rob Savage to see if he would sponsor it, and then the mayor could be a second, or if the mayor comes back? Well, he won't be there for the next meeting.
No, he will not.
Okay. All right. So then let's move forward with this resolution, and then we'll talk briefly about who we can find to sponsor this resolution. So is there a motion upon all of our changes to approve of this resolution as it is updated and amended?
Motion to approve this resolution with the changes discussed.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, our resolution is set. Thank you. To our team. Now, I know Rob, so if Rob has been one of the most vocal persons, I'd say, based off the conversations I've heard, and being willing to possibly sponsor this, and I'm sure there are others that may be willing to sponsor this. I'll hear from you two, Eileen and Debbie. How would you like me to move forward, or you all, how would you like us to move forward? Because I don't mind reaching out to whomever we need to reach out to get this on the 11th, the July 11th meeting. And I know, Eileen, you've spoken to with Rob, so.
I haven't spoken to him specifically about this. I think that I heard that he had some interest in it. He might have some additional comments to make, so it could be a double-edged sword. I mean, I appreciate what Regina's saying about the time crunch. I just, if we could do it, it'd be great, but if we don't think we should rush it, I can go either way.
Okay.
Even if we don't get it on the July 11th council agenda, I think it's worthwhile to discuss it with Alderman Savage in any case.
Now, Madam Clerk, could we, when the mayor returns back on the 15th, could we ensure this is on the final meeting in July and then move that it be passed on first reader?
It will be passed on first reader, and you could also have a request if they don't refer. They'll probably refer it to rule, maybe. I don't know. Ashley, do you know if they refer these type of resolutions to committee?
It depends. Not always.
Because we could ask the sponsor to request to suspend the rules and adopt the bill that day.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing that quite frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we could have it moved on first reader, then a motion to suspend the rules and adopt it on second reader at the same meeting, and then it will be adopted that day.
Since it doesn't cost any money,
Right.
and it's not doing anything binding, like I think some of the task force that went to standing committees were ones where they were also giving money. So they were going to give like a certain chunk of money to do like outside consultant studies in connection with it, things like that. You guys aren't asking for any money and you're not doing anything binding. You're just doing recommendations. So I wouldn't think it would be that much of an issue.
I don't think so either. I agree with her, Ashley.
We'll
just put it on with a request to suspend the rules.
Yes, that would be beautiful.
Regina, who's on the Rules Committee?
That would be Sheila. I want to say Sheila, Ross, and Rob.
That's who it was last time. Okay.
Do you know who's on rules?
It's definitely Sheila.
Yeah, that's who it was.
She's the chair. Thank you.
Do you think it's worthwhile to contact her ahead of time so she could give that support and say, at least she's reviewed it and
I'm pretty sure she was supported for you. I don't see why not.
It's been Layson, Arnett, and Chandlemeyer. Oh yeah, I think I would say.
It's Chandlemeyer.
Yeah, I think that would be a fine team.
I think it's not about the team, just to give her a heads up so that if we ask them to suspend it, she's okay with that. So we would have now and then the 25th to touch base with her and just say, because of the time, we are going to be asking that the rules be suspended, which would mean it won't go to rules and just, so if she says, no, I really think it does, it's always better to know ahead of time than find out then. So it's just a courtesy.
Good, that would be, yes. And so we can get this final resolution. Would it be okay then to share this with the final one with her too? Okay, so once we get that update, then I don't mind reaching out to Sheila. Now, would anyone want to reach out to any other persons like Rob or anyone? Because I don't mind just reaching out to Sheila, knowing that we'll ask the mayor for support when he gets back on after he gets back on the 15th. And then we'll ask Sheila if she can support suspending the rules. I'll do that. Suspend the rules in order.
You need to suspend the rules as a majority.
Yes. So we should be doing a little bit of legwork then, is what I hear.
But I don't think this is going to be an issue.
I was just thinking for Sheila, just to give her a heads up because she
right.
rules.
Okay. Now, if I email anything, Regina, it's not, I am allowed or I'm not able to CC our other members. Would that be considered communication?
Ashley, what do you think?
You can CC people. You can do things like, here's what we're presenting to you. We would like sponsorships. We are planning to suspend the rules. Let us know if you have any questions. What can happen is 2 or more of the board members having back and forth conversations about anything more than administrative level stuff. So scheduling and who's going to talk to who, things like that are all fine. But if it's something that like would be considered like a decision about like how you're going to proceed with setting up the more material stuff, you just want to be careful that you're not discussing a decision of the board that is something beyond basic administrative clerical stuff. But you can copy them.
All right, perfect. And okay, so that's the timeline. Once the final resolution is updated, I will email Sheila and make sure everyone is CC'd and ask her to take a look and see if she'd be willing to help in suspending the rules to ensure that this is passed on first reader at their final meeting in July, so that we can take the time to solicit our volunteers over the fall and get this in action once we have selected our 5 volunteers. I will do that. And I'm not certain if we need a motion. I don't believe we need a motion to select me as that, or we're just going to do it naturally. And so I'll make sure to do that. And then after we hear back from her, we'll go from there. We'll wait for Gavin, Mayor Buckley, to come back from his vacation, and then I'll follow it with you, Madam Clerk, and you can assist with connecting, and we'll make sure to get this sponsored by him. Okay. Great. Moving forward, any other questions on this, members? Okay, let's get this done. Okay, moving forward on the election of ex officio non-voting member to serve on the task force. If there are no questions, concerns, or anything, I would move to select member Eileen Leahy as our ex officio non-voting member, and selecting member Yasik for any alternative. Is there a second?
I second Eileen Leahy to be our liaison.
Okay, and for you to be the alternative in any case.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. Wonderful. And we'll make sure that after the meetings, Eileen, of course, I'm sure you'll be coming back, providing reports, sharing with us everything that took place.
Right.
And same to you,
Is
member
it,
Yasik.
would it be appropriate or okay for me to at least try to lay the groundwork for how we will go about selecting members?
Absolutely. I was actually gonna ask you to do that, if you don't mind, leading and starting, whether it's maybe we can't work on a document together, because that may be seen as us working together
I mean, I can
outside
start
of our
working on
meeting, but
something that we can discuss at our July meeting. So it
yes,
can get implemented.
yes,
I
that way
can
it can be by the time, if we can get that done by the 15th, that would be perfect, or at least by the time it's on the last meeting of the city council, so that we can go right into effect and start promoting it with the support of the city.
Right, well, we have to do it at our meeting first.
Right, July 21st.
Right.
July
So I'll have
21st.
something for the July 21st meeting.
And you guys
Right.
can share that in advance, as long as you don't discuss it in advance via email. So like if she gets something together and she wants to send it out so that like it's not brand new when you're looking at it at the meeting, and that way you can be prepared to bring your comments, you can do that.
All right, so I am going to ask you then, Eileen, if you're able to provide that to us before the 21st. So no rush, if you can at least get it to us by the week of the 11th. That way we can update it, and both myself and Debbie can go through and maybe add some things if it's a workable document. And then we could talk about that at our July meeting. All right. I won't move that. We trust that you'll get it done. Thank you. So I believe that is everything on our agenda for today. Very efficient. So I will, I will ask, is there a motion to adjourn? All right, there's a motion to adjourn at 2:54 p.m. There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is carried by voice vote.